Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the FUNimation dub of episode 78 of Dragonball Super. We begin this episode on the planet of the Kais in Universe 7, where the Grand Minister has just finished the announcement regarding the Tournament of Power to Goku, Kibito, Shin, Old Kai, Beerus, and Whis. Goku inquires the Grand Minister about the location of the Tournament of Power, and the Grand Minister answers that the tournament will be set in the Null Realm, a realm with no time and no space. The Grand Minister adds that just as the case was for the Tournament of Destroyers, the prize for the winner of the Tournament of Power will be a wish from the Super Dragon Balls. All 7 of the Super Dragon Balls have been collected for the event, and it turns out Champa found 3 of the Super Dragon Balls beforehand. This leads to Beerus to suspect that his brother was probably planning to make a wish on the Super Dragon Balls before the Tournament of Power was announced. Shin questions the Grand Minister about the prize for the universe as a whole. Yes, the prize for the winning universe as a whole. And the Grand Minister's answer is along the lines of the winning universe will continue on as it was before the tournament had begun. And this confuses all of the present characters. The Grand Minister admits that he's not supposed to reveal this information just yet, technically, because the Omnikeens are planning to reveal this later on. However, because Goku is friends with Zeno, the Grand Minister has decided that he will make an exception and tell Goku, which means the other characters present will get to hear because they happen to be with Goku when the Grand Minister tells him. But the Grand Minister reveals that the participating universes for the tournament that lose the tournament will be erased from existence by the Omnikeens. So essentially you could say the prize for the winning universe of the tournament will be that they are spared of that fate. The Grand Minister also adds that the Omnikeens have a request for Goku. The Omnikeens want Goku and 2 other Universe 7 fighters to fight against 3 fighters from Universe 9 in a warm-up event before the Tournament of Power. This warm-up event is known as the Zeno Expo, and the Grand Minister explains that the purpose of the Zeno Expo is to give future Zeno an idea of what he can expect for the Tournament of Power, because future Zeno did not see the Tournament of Destroyers as present Zeno did. The Grand Minister says that the Zeno Expo will take place in 1 hour at Zeno's castle, so he wants Goku to find 2 other Universe 7 fighters by that point in time. After explaining this, the Grand Minister leaves the planet of the Kais. Afterwards, Goku thinks to himself out loud about who the other 2 fighters will be for the Zeno Expo. And Beerus, however, is rather furious at Goku's relaxed nature after hearing the stakes of the Tournament of Power. He goes as far as to even accuse Goku of dooming the multiverse because of his boredom. And while Shin is much calmer compared to Beerus, Shin also expresses horror at the stake of the Tournament of Power, the fate of the losing universes. And eventually, Goku admits that he never anticipated the stakes to be as high as they were, but he vows that they'll just have to win the tournament. And Old Kai agrees that all they can do for now is just go along with the tournament and hope they win. They have to concentrate on finding 2 more fighters for the Zeno Expo, and then they can worry about the full 10 roster. The full 10 fighter roster for the Tournament of Power itself later on. So, as it was mentioned, Goku is one of the 3 fighters for the Zeno Expo, but Beerus is still angry at Goku, so he orders Goku to just go find the other 2 fighters from Universe 7 by himself. So Goku rushes back to Capsule Corporation and he tries to convince Vegeta to join him for the Zeno Expo. But just as he said in the previous episode, Vegeta insists that he stay on Earth until the second offspring of Bulma and himself is born. However, Vegeta does suggest to Goku that he request Gohan's help for the Zeno Expo, even though he doesn't know too much else about it. Goku is grateful to Vegeta for the advice, so Goku heads off to the home of Gohan, Videl, and Pan. So Goku and Gohan are talking outside of the house. So yeah, they're outside, and Goku tells Gohan about the Tournament of Power and the Zeno Expo. At first, Gohan is hesitant, so Goku admits to Gohan in secret, yes. Goku swears Gohan into secrecy, and then he admits to Gohan about the stakes of the losing universe. Or yeah, the stakes of the tournament, the fate of the losing universes that will participate in the tournament. And Gohan is quite horrified by this. He even goes as far as to snap at his dad over the stakes, and Goku comments he already got... Or yeah, that Shin and Beerus have already stressed the stakes of the tournament to him already. And Gohan does manage to calm down, though, and Gohan questions his father about if anyone else knows about the fate of the losing universes. Goku admits that besides the divine beings of Universe 7, they're the only 2. So Goku and Gohan are the only mortals in Universe 7 that know the stakes of the tournament. And Gohan says that it's probably for the best that no other mortals know the stakes of the tournament, fearing that it could cause mass panic. And after they agree to keep this a secret, Videl comes outside, wondering if they want to go inside for the conversation, or she questions what they're talking about. And all Goku says is that he was trying to invite Gohan to participate in a tournament. And Videl actually encourages Gohan to accept his father's invitation. And Gohan, this actually is what leads to Gohan accepting Goku's request. Gohan decides that he will participate in this tournament and the Zeno Expo for the sake of his family. Soon enough, we see Hercule, Boo, and Bee arrive because it turns out Pan was spending some quality time with Hercule. So Hercule, Boo, and Bee have arrived to bring Pan back home. And seeing Boo there, Goku actually gets the idea to request Boo's help as well. So now we have all 3 Universe 7 fighters for the Zeno Expo. So Goku returns to the planet of the Kais, and we see Gohan is now wearing, he's wearing the gi that resembles his father's gi. It's the gi that he wore when he fought Super Boo back in the Boo saga, although Gohan is also wearing his glasses still. And Boo has arrived too, and Hercule actually is coming along too. He's going to be a spectator like the divine beings of Universe 7. And Hercule admits that he's also there because Boo is more likely to listen to him. Beerus whispers to Goku if any of them know about the stakes of the tournament, and Goku admits that Gohan is the only other one who knows besides them. And he also mentions to Universe 7's Destroyer that Gohan thinks it's better that they keep the stakes of the tournament under wraps for now. And Beerus agrees. He thinks that Gohan's choice was wise. So after everyone has gathered, Shin uses his Kai ability to teleport everyone to Zeno's castle. Hercule is amazed by the sight of the Omni King's castle, but he makes sure to stay on his best behavior when Beerus threatens him to, be on his best behavior, and Hercule is willing to comply. So the Universe 7 characters enter the castle and they're walking down the hallway, but soon enough they come across 6 other individuals. These are the Universe 9 characters, as Shin greets them and recognizes them as beings from Universe 9. So 3 of these beings are actually mortals. They're the fighters chosen for the Zeno Expo, and they're all humanoid wolves. And yeah, they're humanoid wolves, and each of them have a different fur color that's of the primary colors. So there's a wolf with blue fur, a wolf with yellow fur, and a wolf with red fur. The other 3 are the divine beings of Universe 9, the Supreme Kai, the Angel Assistant, and the Destroyer. The Supreme Kai has a smug look on his face. The Angel Assistant looks rather calm, and the Destroyer resembles a dwarf with red hair and a red beard and green skin. You can tell he's a Destroyer because his outfit resembles Beerus and Champa's outfit, or the general look of those outfits. So soon enough, the Grand Minister arrives, and he's pleased to see that everyone has arrived on time. So the Grand Minister says that the Grand Minister constructs an arena, and these hover spectator seats is what you can call them. The spectator seats are divided by universe, so everyone from Universe 7 is in one spectator seat, everyone from Universe 9 is from their own spectator seat. And the Grand Minister reveals that the other divine beings of the other universes will also be spectators for the Zeno Expo. So we actually get to meet the divine beings of all of the universes, all 12 universes. So yes, the Supreme Kais all share a similar look to them, and the Angel Assistants all share a similar look to them as well. It's not really mentioned in the episode itself, but I might as well just mention it now. The Angel Assistants are all the children of the Grand Minister, so they're all siblings with each other. The Destroyers, on the other hand, Beerus and Champa are the only Destroyers that actually are the same species, and they're the only ones that are actually related. The rest of the Destroyers all have different appearances, with their outfit sharing a general look to them. So I'll go ahead and mention the other Destroyers, or briefly describe them. So not counting Beerus, Champa, or the Dwarf, the other Destroyers are a human-sized furball. I don't know how else to describe him. A woman that resembles a human. She's actually the only female Destroyer. And some fans have noted that they were reminded of Cleopatra by her design. Her design reminds some fans of Cleopatra. A giant robot who actually resembles Lude, a machine mutant from Dragon Ball GT, and the subversion of Dragon Ball GT referred to Lude as a god of destruction, which is another way of referring to a destroyer, so you can see the reference there. A yellow mouse is another destroyer. Another destroyer resembles a tiki mask with a mohawk. That's the best way I can think to describe this destroyer. Then there's a three-tailed fox. Yeah, a three-tailed humanoid fox is another destroyer. A pink elephant is another destroyer. He's actually Universe 10's destroyer because he's in the same spectator seat as Gowasu. Oh, and the Angel Assistant for Universe 10 also seems to be the youngest of the Angel Assistants because she actually looks like a kid, unlike the rest of the Angel Assistants. Another destroyer resembles a clown, and the Angel Assistant has pigtails. Some fans actually jokingly refer to this destroyer and Angel Assistant duo as Joker and Harley Quinn. Oh, and besides the divine beings, the spectator seats for this universe also feature a cloaked figure. And the last destroyer bears a resemblance to the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's at least what I've seen some fans describe this destroyer. So yes, that's all of the destroyers. So they've all gathered together, and Goku actually casually tries to talk to Champa, But the Grand Minister sternly but politely requests that Goku remain silent for the time being. Probably because all the divine beings are there, not just Zeno. That's my guess anyway. But afterwards, the Grand Minister proceeds to thank all the divine beings for being able to gather together. And he repeats the purpose of the Zeno Expo. Afterwards, both the Zenos and two of the Zeno assistants arrive. And Goku, rather casually actually, flies up to the Zenos. And he's trying to thank them for setting up the Zeno Expo and the Tournament of Power. But Beerus rushes up to Goku, throws him back into the Universe 7 spectator seats, and then he tries to apologize for Goku's interruption. And this causes some of the divine beings present to actually comment about, they're rather put off by Goku acting so casual around the Omni King, some even going as far as to make generalizations about Universe 7. But the Grand Minister is able to get everyone to quiet down, and he explains that Goku is actually the one who reminded the present Zeno of the idea for the Tournament of Power. And the Grand Minister even gives Goku a chance to give a speech. And yeah, Goku introduces himself, and his speech is pretty simple. Just he heard about strong opponents from other universes. He wanted to fight these strong opponents, and he's grateful to the Zenos for arranging everything. And the Zenos are thankful to Goku as well for reminding them about the tournament. Afterwards, the Grand Minister proceeds to detail the specifics of the Zeno Expo. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a total of 3 one-on-one matches. So each member of the team for the two universes, Universe 7 and Universe 9, they're each going to take part in one match. There's no time limit, and the matches will continue until one opponent admits defeat or an opponent is unable to continue to battle. And the Grand Minister also adds that the fighters are allowed to use all the powers they have available. He even encourages it. Then the Universe 9 Supreme Kai, voiced by Derek Snow, actually has a question for the Grand Minister. He questions if there's any prize for the universe that wins the Zeno Expo. But the Grand Minister responds, there's no prize, that's not the point of the Zeno Expo. He repeats the Zeno Expo is meant to give future Zeno an idea of what he can expect for the Tournament of Power. Though the Grand Minister also adds that there could still be consequences. Like he says, if the Omni Kings are bored by the Zeno Expo, then they may take, in the Grand Minister's words, drastic measures, or along those lines at the very least. Universe 9's Destroyer, voiced by Greg Dulce, fears that this might mean that the Zenos might actually erase the universe's part of the Zeno Expo right then and there if the Zenos are bored by the Zeno Expo. And the Grand Minister only responds that it's possible. He doesn't give them a definite answer. He just says, maybe. It depends on what the Omni King is thinking. So after that's been settled, the Grand Minister says they can start the first match of the Zeno Expo. So the Red Wolf, who's voiced by Jeff Plunk, he volunteers to go first. And we find out that the three wolves are actually brothers. So yes, the Red Wolf volunteers to go first. And Universe 9 Supreme Kai reveals the Red Wolf's name to be Basil. And the Blue Wolf, the Blue Wolf, voiced by Marcus Stamak, encourages his brother to make Universe 9 look good, or to make things look simple, is along the lines of how he puts it. And Basil says he intends to do so. For Universe 7, Boo is the first fighter, or he will be the fighter for this match for Universe 7. And although there's a close call where Boo falls asleep, Hercule's able to wake him up with some chocolate, and he promises to give Boo more chocolate if Boo fights Basil in this first match. So Boo's woken up, he's had some chocolate, and there's the promise of more chocolate. So the first match begins with Boo versus Basil. Basil actually manages to kick Boo around quite a bit, but then Boo ends up falling on the ground. But Boo starts to smile, and that's how we end this episode. So we had to wait an extra week for the Labor Day weekend, but new Funimation dub episodes of Dragon Ball Super have resumed. And this episode had quite a bit of content packed into it, so we'll try to cover what we can. So we now have more information about the Tournament of Power, namely the location, the Null Realm, which, yeah, a realm with no time or space. So that means the intent is so the fighters can fight at their fullest potential without worrying about ruining anything other than the arena that they're going to be fighting in. But yeah, nothing of consequence will be destroyed within the Null Realm. But the losing universes, though, do have something to lose. That's right, the losing universes will actually be erased from existence. So yes, those are pretty high stakes. And although several characters in the episode keep accusing Goku of being the one who doomed the multiverse, I don't want to give too much away for the dub-only viewers just yet, but let me just give you a word of advice. Don't jump to conclusions just yet. Just because of the way things are presented in this episode, let's just say there's more to this than these first impressions may suggest. So don't jump to conclusions just yet. There's a little more they're going to reveal about that. So be patient, hang in there. More will be revealed in time. But otherwise, yes. So Goku had to find 2 other fighters for the Zeno Expo. And yeah, the Zeno Expo, they actually provided a pretty reasonable explanation, giving future Zeno a preview for what the Tournament of Power will be like. And you can probably imagine that the other divine beings being present is also to help give them an idea of what they can expect as well. But yes, so Gohan and Boo were the other fighters besides Goku for the Zeno Expo. And I actually thought they were good choices because Gohan and Boo didn't really get to do a whole lot in Dragon Ball Super yet. Like, Gohan did participate in the Golden Frieza saga, and Gohan did get to interact with Future Trunks for a while in the Zamasu saga, and then Gohan did get a 2-parter about the Great Saiyaman movie in the Breather episodes after the main storyline of the Zamasu saga. But yeah, it'll be nice to have Gohan have a little more action in the main storyline. And I do like that he's wearing the gi that he wore when he fought Super Boo, the one that resembles his father's gi during the Boo saga. I always did like that look with Gohan, so I'm glad he's wearing that gi again. And Boo, yeah, Boo didn't get to participate in the Tournament of Destroyers last time around, so it's nice for Boo fans that he finally gets to actually fight. So I'm glad that Boo gets to participate in the Zeno Expo. And otherwise, that's right, yes, the other divine beings. So yeah, that was pretty cool. We got to see the other divine beings finally. So we finally got to see Universe 10's Destroyer, a pink elephant. And I did mention it before, but I still think it was unfortunate that the Zamasu saga didn't actually feature Universe 10's Destroyer, or Universe 10's Angel Assistant for that matter, because in the Champa saga, even though Champa was the divine being of Universe 6 that was the main focus, Fua, Universe 6's Supreme Kai, still appeared. So that's kind of what I wish too, even though Zamasu was the main villain of the Zamasu saga and Gowasu was his mentor who tried to steer him on the right path, but Zamasu was far too gone. It still would have been nice to have Universe 10's Destroyer and Universe 10's Angel Assistant appear. But at least we get to see them now. And otherwise, that's right, yes. So the Angel Assistants all share a similar look to each other. Cyan skin color, white hair, and they have the blue halos around their head or neck. And that's right, yes. Yes, that's right. Yeah, they're all siblings. They don't outright tell you, but yeah, Whis and Vados were confirmed to be siblings. The Grand Minister is confirmed to be Whis' dad, so I might as well just mention that now. They're all related to each other. The Angel Assistants are all related. And while the Supreme Kais are all of the same species, the Destroyers are actually different species, not counting Beerus and Champa. They're the only related Destroyers. And this kind of goes along with what was implied earlier in the series. Whis was training Goku and Vegeta with the hope that they would eventually succeed Beerus as Destroyers, and they're mortals. And yes, like the Guardians, the planet-level gods like Kami and Dende, the Destroyers are implied to be gods that were born mortals, but then achieved divine status. That's essentially the implication with the Destroyers. But yeah, it was cool to see the other Destroyers. They all have very unique designs, I feel. I like the reference to Lute in particular for the robot Destroyer. I don't want to give away the names just yet, but yeah, they all share the alcohol theme naming, the Destroyers and the Angel Assistants. Oh, that's right. Now that I'm thinking about it, with the, I didn't get to mention it in the recap, but finding out about the universes being erased, Goku actually suggested that he just make a request to the Zenos to leave out the erase the universes that lose the tournament condition. But Whis in particular advised Goku not to make that request because Whis said that the Omni Kings and the Grand Minister, although they're rather friendly, or they come off as friendly, don't take too kindly to criticism. That's at least what Whis warned Goku about. So Whis is fearful that if Goku makes that request, the Omni Kings and the Grand Minister might erase Universe 7 to make a point about anyone criticizing their decisions, or that's along the lines of what Whis was saying to Goku about why he shouldn't make that request. So that's why Goku didn't make that request. I forgot to mention that in the recap, but that's why. So otherwise, yeah, I did like that we get to see a little bit more about some of the other universes. Universe 9 in particular, we're going to see, we get to see the divine beings of Universe 9 in particular have focus because of the Zeno Expo, but we also get to see 3 mortals from Universe 9. So Basil's the first one, and he's going to go up against Boo. So as you can guess, the next episode will continue the fight between Boo and Basil. So otherwise, yeah, that was actually quite a lot to talk about, but yeah, this episode was filled with a lot of content, so there was definitely a lot to talk about. But there we go for now. You can expect to hear more about the Zeno Expo as we continue to watch the future episodes as they air on Toonami. But otherwise, there we go for now. So as of this video, we've now discussed the Funimation dub of episode 78 of Dragon Ball Super on this channel. Take care, and until next time.